Welcome everyone. Previously we discussed about the concepts of reissue of forfeited shares, especially in case of par, premium and discount. So let us discuss in detail some of the comprehensive cases with regard to forfeiture and reissue. Next case, reissue of forfeited shares at a discount which were originally issued at par. J Limited having a nominal capital of 20,000 shares of rupees 10 each invite an application for 10,000 shares payable as follows. On application 2 rupees 50 paise, allotment 3 rupees 50 paise, on first call 2 rupees, second and final call 2. If you add all these amount you will get 10. If you are getting a value less than 10, it will be a case of a discount. If you are getting a value greater than 10, it will be a case of premium. Since in the heading itself it have mentioned that it was issued at par, so it will be a par situation. And reissue of, there is a forfeiture, and not only forfeiture, the company is reissuing the forfeited shares at a discount. So it is a combined case of issue, forfeiture as well as reissue. So let us go in detail with regard to the question. The company received application for 9,000 shares. All applications were accepted. See, here the company's nominal capital was 20,000 shares, invited application for 10,000 shares and received application for 9,000 shares. See, there are three set of shares of the company. One is with regard to the total authorized capital. This 20,000 may be the authorized capital. 10,000 may be the total capital intended to issue to the public, and it might have issued to the public, and the company received only application of only 9,000 shares out of this 10,000. So whenever you are finding out the amount with regard to each of these installments collected, you have to consider this 9,000 rather than this 20,000 as well as 10,000, because we always consider the actual amount received, not issued or called up or like that. And applications were all applications were accepted, all money due as stated above were received with the exception of the second and final call on 200 shares. The company couldn't receive the amount of second and final call on 200 shares of a shareholder. These shares were forfeited and reissued as fully paid at 9 per share. Draft the journal entries. See, the value of share was 10, it is reissued at rupees 9 per share, fully paid. So first of all, this is a case where you have to pass journal entries for the issue, forfeiture as well as reissue. So how we are going to deal that? As usual, you know how to chalk out the journal entries for the issue of shares. So let us do that. Journal entry format, date, particular, cell of debit amount, credit amount. We will begin with the receipt of application money. Remember how many shares you have to consider, whether it is 20,000 or 10,000 or 9,000. You have to consider the actual amount received on applications received from the public. 9,000 shares were applied by the public. So for that number of shares only you have to find the total amount of each of these installments. So first one, the amount of application money received. Bank account debit to equity share application account, 9,000 into 2 rupees 50 paise. You will get 22,500. Don't forget to pass the narration. Being the application money received on 9,000 shares at rupees 2 rupees 50 paise per share. Next one, due entry, equity share application, account up to equity share capital. The same amount is there because there are no other adjustments with regard to that. 22,500, that is 9,000 into 2 rupees 50 paise, the application money transferred to the share capital. So we have completed the application situation. Next one, with regard to allotment. There are no other adjustments with regard to allotment, so just pass the two entries. First one is the due entry, and next after that you have to pass the payment entry. So first of all, due entry, equity share allotment account up to equity share capital, number of shares is 9,000, value of allotment per share is 3 rupees 50 paise, so 9,000 into 3 rupees 50 paise, 31,500. Next is the payment entry, bank account up to equity share allotment. There are no adjustment with regard to that, so just write down the same amount which you have written in the previous entry, 31,500. So next go to for the next installment, that is first call. Again in the first call also there are no other further adjustments, so just pass the usual entries just like the previous installments. First one is the due entry, equity share first call account up to equity share capital, 9,000 into 2, 18,000. And remember, don't forget to pass the necessary narrations with regard to each of these 10 entries. Here being the first call money due on 9,000 shares at rupees 2 per share. Next is the payment entry, bank account up to equity share first call. With regard to first call there are no adjustments, so write down the same amount being the first call money received. After that, next is the second and final call, and there is an adjustment with regard to second and final call, so you have to do that installments details very carefully. First is the due entry, equity share second and final call account to equity share capital. Here second and final call is 2, total number of shares received or application received for 9,000 shares, so 9,000 into 2, 18,000. So with regard to the second and final call, the company has to collect 18,000, but the company didn't receive the payment for 200 shares. That is, out of 9,200 shares worth of second and final call was not met by one of the shareholder. So you have to consider that amount on 200 shares. So actual money to be received by the concern with regard to second and final call will be bank account up to equity share second and final call, 17,600. So how did we get 17,600? Total number of shares applied by the public are 9,000 shares. Out of 9,200 shares held by a shareholder failed to pay second and final call. So out of 9,000 we get only the amount on 8,800. So for 8,800 the value of second and final call is 2. So for 8,800 the payment will be received. So 8,800 into 2 you will get 17,600. So we have successfully completed all the entries with regard to each of the installments. Next you need to pass the forfeiture entry. I hope you understand the concern how we have obtained 17,600. If you have any queries, please let me know. So once you passed all the entries with regard to each of these installment, next you need to pass the entry for the forfeiture of shares, because one of the shareholder failed to pay the second and final call on 200 shares, and the company might have given necessary intimations to the shareholders. Still after that the shareholder haven't taken any consideration for each of these intimations. That is the reason the company might have forfeited its shares. We have learned those theoretical aspects during the discussion of forfeiture shares. So next one, the entry for the forfeiture, equity share capital account up to share forfeiture to share second and final call. Equity share capital is the total amount on default shares. So the default shares were 200, so the total amount is 200 into 10, 2,000, out of which some shareholder had paid application, allotment, first call. So the amount will be 2.5 plus 3.5, it will be 6. 6 plus 2, 8. So 8 rupees worth of share was paid by that shareholder. So to share forfeiture is 200 into 8, it will be 1,600. And that shareholder, or it may be a group of shareholders, failed to pay second and final call. So 200 into 2 you will get 400. This is how you have to pass the forfeiture entry. Next, once you pass the forfeiture, next the company is going to reissue. In this question there is a reissue, so you have to pass the journal entries for the reissue. And the reissue is bank account debtor to share forfeiture account debtor to equity share capital. Bank account means here these shares were reissued, not issued, reissued as fully paid 9 per share. So how many number of shares were reissued? 200 number of shares were reissued. So 200 into 9, because it was reissued at 9 fully paid. So 200 into 9, 1800. That is the amount that the company had collected by reissue of these forfeited shares. And in this case they are not discussing anything about discount, premium or anything else. So here the value is 9. What was the actual price of that share? It was rupees 10. So a share worth rupees 10 was reissued for 9. So we can assume that the company has reissued at a discount. So in the most of the cases the company may not mention whether it is a discount case or a premium case. It is up to your logical understanding that on the basis of the face value of the share which were actually issued, you have to compare that value with the reissue value. On the basis of your analysis you have to understand whether it is a case of discount or premium or at par. So here the value of 10 was issued at 9, so there is a discount of rupees 1 on how many shares? 200 shares. So 1 into 200, 200. So the amount is obtained by 200 into 9. 200 into value of share is 9, 1800. Next is 200 into 1, 200, because 1 rupee worth of share means discount was offered. And finally 200 into 10, 2000. And once you passed the reissue, I have mentioned that definitely there will be a difference in the share forfeiture account, and the share forfeiture account balance should be adjusted in the capital reserve. And in this question there is no issue with regard to reissue because all the forfeited shares were reissued. In that case it is very easy to find the difference in the forfeiture account. So the amount is share forfeiture account debted to capital reserve, and it is obtained by preparing a share forfeiture account. In the last question we have easily found the balance amount that has to be transferred to capital reserve, but it is better to prepare a share forfeiture account in order to find the correct value of share forfeiture balance. It will be most useful when you are dealing with the question where there is a difference in the proportion of reissue of forfeited shares. Because if sometimes the 100 shares may be forfeited, the company might reissue only 75 shares. In such situations, the share forfeiture account has to be computed very carefully, because there will be a difference in the amount. You have to find the proportionate amount difference from the share forfeiture account. We will discuss that part, but it is better to prepare a share forfeiture account. And so first of all, point out the details that has to be shown in the account. In this side there will be no amounts with regard to share forfeiture, only these two entries share forfeiture amount will come. See, first one, to share forfeiture account. So in the share forfeiture account it will be by equity share capital 1600. Here there is a share forfeiture debit account, share forfeiture account debted to equity share capital rupees 200. There are no further amount, and from the initial glance itself you can understand that there is a difference of a certain amount that has to be definitely transferred to the capital reserve. And I believe you all know how to balance an account. If you balance this account you will get an amount of 1400. This balance has to be transferred to the capital reserve. That is the concept. In the previous question we have simply take the difference between this 1600 minus 200, but it is always better to prepare a share forfeiture account. So the difference is 1400. That amount has to be transferred to the capital reserve. So share forfeiture account debted to capital reserve 1400. So this is how you have to deal with the case where you have to pass all the entries with regard to issue, whether it may be a premium, par or a discount. You have to go through the question very wisely. And in the same question itself there will be a case of a forfeiture and there will be a case of a reissue. In this case it is very easy because the same forfeited shares were fully reissued. Sometimes it may not be fully reissued. In such situations you have to find out the proportionate difference in the forfeiture account. We will discuss that. I hope you have understand the concept with regard to this situation. Go through it. If you have any queries, please let me know. So let us go to the next one. Next case, reissue of forfeited shares at discount which were issued at par. Ram Company Limited issued 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. The issue was fully subscribed. The amount on shares is payable as application 2, allotment 3, first and final call rupees 5. All money payable on application, allotment and call have been duly received with the following exceptions that Rajan, who holds 100 shares, failed to pay the money on allotment, first call and final call. Sajan, to whom 50 shares were allotted, failed to pay first and final call. The shares of Rajan and Sajan were forfeited and were subsequently reissued for cash as fully paid at a discount of 10%. Pass the journal entries to record the above transactions of the share capital on the assumption that the company maintains calls in arrears account. So remember, sometimes the calls in arrears account may be specifically mentioned in the question. In that case you have to show calls in arrears. Otherwise you need to consider only the remaining portion of the amount for which the company is actually receiving. You can deduct the calls in arrears amount, just like the case which we have discussed in the previous question. In the previous question there was a case of a calls in arrears, and in that situation also we didn't prepare or show the amount of calls in arrears. Instead we have shown the net amount, that is the amount after adjusting calls in arrears. Whenever this type of questions come, you have to consider the calls in arrears also. So let us prepare the journal entries. First part is very easy, that is the issue with regard to each of these installments. We have done numerous cases with regard to that. So let us go through the journal entries. First one, the application received, application for 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each, and it is a fully paid. An application of 2 per share, there are no adjustment with regard to that. So 10,000 into 2, 20,000. Bank account up to equity share application 20,000. Being the application money received on 10,000 equity shares at rupees 2 per share. So next is a due entry, equity share application account up to equity share capital. There are no further adjustment with regard to that. So show the same amount 20,000, that is 10,000 into 2, 20,000. First installment is over. Next one, allotment. You have to pass the due entry, equity share allotment account up to equity share capital. Total number of shares 10,000 into 3, 30,000. Don't forget to pass the narration, being allotment money due on 10,000 equity shares at rupees 3 per share. Next is the payment entry, bank account up to equity share allotment. There are no adjustments. So make sure whether there is adjustment. There are adjustments. See, Rajan, who holds 100 shares, failed to pay the money on allotment. Sajan is already paid the allotment money. So there is only one issue. Rajan, who holds 100 shares, failed to pay money on allotment. And first call. Now we are dealing with allotment, so we need to consider allotment case. 100 shares. So here the company is receiving amount for not 10,000 shares, only 9,900, because 10,000 out of 10,000, 100 shares of certain person was not paid or don't received by the company. So 10,000 minus 100, you will get 9,900. So for 9,900 shares only the company is receiving the allotment amount. So 9,900 into 3, you will get 29,700. Next one, calls in arrears account up to equity share allotment 300, that is 100 shares held by Rajan, failed to pay allotment. So 100 into 3, 300. And one more thing, sometimes you may get confused. We can show these two entry as a combined single entry. It will be like this: bank account up to 29,700, calls in arrears account up to 300. These two items will be debit items. Next one, in the next line it will be to equity share allotment 30,000. we can show these two entries as a combined single entry. You can do like that. We have done some of the cases like that. If you have any queries with regard to those entries, just go through the previous classes which we have dealt. If the question was not mentioning anything about Colson Arias account, you need not have to prepare or pass this entry. So, next one. With regard to first and final call, equity share first and final call account up to equity share capital, that is 5. Total number of shares is 10,000. So 5 into 10,000, 50,000. But in this situation, you have to be very careful because there are two parties who failed to pay first and final call. Rajan who holding 100 shares and Sarjan who holding 50 shares. So there is a call scenario of 150 shares with regard to equity share first and final call. So the entry will be bank account debted to equity share first and final call. The amount will be, it is not out of 10,000 the company is going to receive the amount, it is out of 9,850. And remember, while finding out the amount, don't go directly deducting the Colson Arias for 10,000 shares, because out of 10,000 the company already lost 100 shares. So now the company is having only 9,900 shares in hand. For those shares only the company is going to receive any amount, because already the company is not going to receive any amount on 100 shares. So don't go directly deduct this 50. 50 means Sarjan's amount, 50 shares on 10,000. Or you can go directly like that, 99,000, 9,900 minus 50. Or you can go directly as 10,000 minus 150. That's up to your discretion, but you have to be very careful. Don't do any careless mistakes. Here 9,900 out of 10,000, 9,900 is only taken because already 100 shares worth of shares are already cancelled, or the company is not going to receive anything. So the remaining 9,900 minus Sarjan's 50 shares. You can either do like that, or you can go directly with regard to 10,000. But remember, from 10,000 you have to deduct 100 and 150 because Rajan did not pay allotment and first call. So during the examination, don't get confused and only deduct 50 from 10,000. If you are doing from out of 10,000, you have to go through the question carefully, because from 10,000 you need to deduct 100 because Rajan did not pay first and final call. Sarjan's 50 because he also did not pay first and final call. So total 150. Either you deduct 150 from 10,000 or you can deduct 9,900 minus 50. That's up to your discretion and consent. So now for 9,850 the company is going to receive the amount. So that number of shares into first and final call 5. So the amount will be 49,250. Next, Colson Arias account up to equity share first and final call. In this case you have to be very careful to find the Colson Arias amount, because you need to consider not only Sarjan but also Rajan's. So total of 150 is there. Don't get confused and consider only 50 shares of Sarjan. There is 100 shares of Rajan also is there in case of first and final call. So total 150 shares for first and final call is 5. So 150 into 5, 750 worth of Colson Arias are there with regard to amount received by the company on first and final call. And next is the forfeiture entry, because in the question it is mentioned that once there is the issue of shares is completed, you have to pass the entries with regard to forfeiture as well as reissue. So the entry is equity share capital account up to forfeiture account to Colson Arias. So how many number of shares has to be cancelled? Total of 150. So 150 into 10, because there are no other mentioning about the value of shares that are going to be cancelled with regard to that. Here the value of shares is 10. There are no adjustment with regard to forfeiture. There will be no adjustment with regard to the value of shares with regard to forfeiture. So equity share capital 150 into 10, and out of which the company received a payment for application and allotment. But remember, in the case of allotment, there is one calls in arrears, and in case of first and final call there is two calls in arrears, so you have to consider that accordingly. So let us find out the correct value of share forfeiture account. First one, it is 150 into 10, 1500. Next one, in case of forfeiture, 100 shares hold means Rajan holding 100 shares successfully paid application but failed to pay allotment and first call. So you need to consider the success payment. Here he successfully paid application, so 100 into 2. Let it be like that. Next one, sergeant who hold 50 successfully paid application and allotment. So show his part of amount, that is 2 plus 3 5 on how many shares? 50 shares. He had successfully paid application and allotment, so 50 into 5, so 450. So what is the amount of calls in arrears? In that case also you have to find like this. So what was the default made by the Rajan? He didn't pay allotment and first call, so it will be, and in case of sergeant he didn't pay final call, so it will be like this, 100 into 8. See, Rajan did not pay allotment and first call, so 3 plus 5, it will be 8. 100 into 8. So Rajan's case is over. Next one, sergeant. Sergeant failed to pay first and final call, that is 5. So 50 into 5, it will be total of 1050. So this is the entry with regard to forfeiture of shares. Next, we are going to reissue the same shares at a discount because it was mentioned like that in the question. So let us pass the reissue entry, and don't forget to pass the narration being the forfeiture of 100 shares for non-payment of allotment and call money, and 50 shares for non-payment of first and final call money. Next is the reissue bank account update to share forfeiture to equity share capital. The shares which you are going to reissue is 150 shares, so 150 is reissued at discount, and here 10% is a discount, so value of the share was 10 and 10% of 10 is 1, so the company is going to receive the money for 150 into 9. So 150 into 9, 1350. Share forfeiture, you will show the amount of discount, and total number of shares reissued are 150, 100 plus 50, and discount was rupees 1, so it will be 150 rupees. And total equity share capital which your company is going to reissue is 1500. And once the reissue is done, the company has to pass the entry for transferring the balance of share forfeiture account to the respective capital reserve account. So the entry will be share forfeiture account up to capital reserve, amount is 300. I hope you know how to find the amount of share forfeiture accounts balance. If you go through the amount, here it is 450, here it is 150, so the difference would be 300. It will not be the case if the company is reissuing only a part of the forfeiture. In that case, there will be another type of adjustment. So this is how you have to deal with the case where you need to pass entries for issue as well as forfeiture as well as reissue, and finally transfer to the capital reserve. Remember, in the question, if they are mentioning about calls in arrears in advance, means they are specifically mentioning to prepare a calls in arrears account, pass the entry for the calls in arrears. But it is better to follow this type of computations. That is, if there is calls in arrears, instead of writing down the net amount, show the calls in arrears entry also. So you need not have to worry whether it is a calls in arrears specifically mentioned in the question or not. If the calls in arrears is there, it's okay. If there is not, then don't worry about it. But if you are passing calls in arrears entry in almost all the cases, because it is not a big issue, if you are passing this entry, you need not have to worry about whether you have to go through the question very wisely to make sure whether there is information regarding calls in arrears account has to be prepared or not. If you are passing this entry, there is no issue. So it is better to pass this entry, or it's up to your discretion whether you have to pass this entry or not. If it is specifically mentioned in the question, you have to definitely pass. Otherwise, show the net amount only. So this is how you have to deal with the case. Go through it. If you have any queries, please let me know. We will discuss about the further cases in the coming sessions.